Brendan Miller catching it from the Brewers dugout, and now he ejects Ricky Weeks. Ricky Weeks has seen enough.
Now this is all about the strike zone. We were talking about it most of the day. Very tight at times, liberal at other times.
Weeks ejected.
And now time as Woods Richardson was beginning his motion. And what do we have? A pitch time violation on Woods Richardson. That's going to be ball 4. And Rocco will leave the dugout. And Vasquez, he's in the face of Nick Lentz. Rocco's in there as well. And I don't think Rocco's going to be long for this game. But a pitch time violation called on Woods Richardson. And that leads to ball 4. And puts India on. Reading Rocco's lips there for a moment, he said he didn't do that. Now what Lentz said. And Rocco's been tossed. Yes, he did, is what Rocco was saying. Almost looked like Rocco said he called timeout.
I like how the second base umpire, Vic Carapazza, just starts to creep up.
He's the crew chief. Yeah, Carapazza, he's the crew chief. And Rocco's been ejected. And I'll say it again. You know, Vic Carapazza, he's the crew chief. He has a microphone. I get it that a pitch time violation was called. But what exactly did the umpires see? What's the harm in just saying, flipping on your microphone, we called a ball 4 pitch time violation because of what?
And he indicated to him that he couldn't hear. He pointed to his head, and he didn't step off.
So Rocco's been ejected here in the 6th inning.
And now a strike.
I think they're booing the sell job.
Yeah.
And that ball was almost in the middle of the plate.
Oh, and a strike call on the outside part of the plate. And Morel not happy.
I don't think Rob Drake is either.
Yep, a full count. And Morel is out on strikes, and he has been ejected from the game. Morel ejected after the strikeout.
Did he offer? No, says Laz Diaz.
Wow.
And the Boo Birds are out for Laz Diaz. Laz has heard enough.
Well, this was Torey Lovullo during the pitching change. Cap to cap, bill to bill, and nose to nose with the crew chief, Laz Diaz. And this is as animated as we've seen the skipper in a long time. Guessing that this was about the non-strike 3 call on the Tyler O'Neill check swing. Torey was going to get every moment he had.
Second in the league in average sprint speed. And wow, that was called strike 3. O'Hearn will get a steal. Brandon Hyde's out. I am shocked at that one. That pitch looked like it was way below the zone, and John Bacon's telling Brandon Hyde, go back to your dugout.
And I don't know, Brandon Hyde might have gotten thrown out already, and I don't blame him for taking the heat for Westy, because you can't let Westy get thrown out of the game. But as a manager, I love to see this. He is sticking up for his guys, and Westy got hosed twice.
Strike 3. That one looked outside. Maybe it's a makeup call, and Chisholm's down on strikes.
There's no such thing about that. You missed the call, you don't make up for it, and there he goes.
Well, you can't argue balls and strikes, and he was teetering on that edge, and Boone was trying to break it up, but Bacon had enough. Now he might get fined too, because he just tossed the helmet lightly, but he tossed the helmet toward home plate. And I don't know if they're going to push him. We'll see. Driven deep to left field. Fair ball, it's gone. It is a foul ball, just foul. A bullet down the line.
You talk about reaching out and touching someone right there. That was a swing, boy.
The call on the field is foul ball. This is a crew chief review.
crew chief review. I hope they have an angle here to look. Tough to see from our angle. Well, as we watch this swing. Man, that ball was hit really far. And you think about it in a Major League stadium. You know, the foul pole, let's see here. Oh, my.
Wow.
From that angle.
And in a Major League ballpark, Todd, the foul pole is much higher.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to before I saw that. I mean, that angle there, it's not straight on. But to me, I mean, that could have just wrapped around.
I'm a big proponent. Top of the foul pole.
After review, call on the field stand. The foul ball.
They have it. Top of the foul pole, lasers.
Lasers, yeah, something.
So easy.
I mean, from that angle there, it's... I'm not sure.
Call it foul either.
Agreed. And I'm looking at Luis Rojas at third, too. He's not really complaining that much.
Strike three. So from what would have been a long home run, he strikes out looking. Does not like that call. And he tells Adam Beck quickly out of the dugout. And Aaron Boone just got thrown out because he got out of the dugout in a hurry to protect Judge. And he's been complaining the entire game about Beck's strike zone.
Yeah, I think he's still mad about the home run call, too. That was foul.
Yeah, that's who he's going to argue with now, Scott Barry.
Yeah, there's been some calls, too, today that have been very suspect, too, in the strike zone. This is going to be a good one here. Let's see where this pitch. Ugh,
right there.
Paint. I think it's more frustration knowing. I mean, look where this ball is. It's already past the foul pole. It lands foul. Oh, man. That's a missed call.
And Albies takes 4 straight balls to load the bases. Ollie just got thrown out of the game by Mark Carlson, arguing balls and strikes. You could read his lips. He thought ball 4 was strike 1. Maton departs, allowing the tying run. The bases remain loaded, and Oliver Marmol continues to chirp with Mark Carlson as Atlanta has him loaded with 1 out in a tie game in the bottom of the 8th inning at Truist Park.
So an afternoon that started so well for Kevin Gausman ends much earlier than he would have liked, and as you can see, with a lot of frustration. He had some words for the home plate umpire, Chris Conroy, on his way down to the Blue Jays' third base dugout. The first 2 innings, he sailed through them, really. And then the 3rd inning, his command was not as good, obviously, as it was in the first 2. And he took issue with a number of pitch calls. So Gausman is out after 2 2/3.
Yeah, for CJ, he's, I mean, already struck out twice.
This is your award. Anything else, you're going.
Okay, well, we could throw you out, too.
Oh, there we go. Somebody just got run from the Nationals dugout. Looks like Chris Johnson. That was terrible. Is maybe a FCC safe version of what CJ just said.
Yeah, someone got defensive for being bad. It's okay, Lance.
0 for 2, leading it off against Max Fried. And that changeup paints the outside corner with the knees.
John Schneider just got thrown out of the ball game, and this has been going on for a few innings now. Kevin Gausman was thrown out as he was taken out of the game by Chris Conroy.
Yeah, you're right. Most of this has to do with Gausman.
Yeah. Frustrating day for Gausman and John Schneider. But after that ball was called on Vladdy, Schneider couldn't keep it inside anymore.
So John Schneider will take the rest of the first game off. But remember, this is a doubleheader. DeMarlo Hale will, I presume it'll be DeMarlo Hale, will assume the managerial role for the rest of the game.
Just clips for a strike.
More barking from the Cardinal dugout. And Marmol's been ejected. He hurdles the railing and comes out to get his money's worth. He was the most animated going at Dreckman in the infancy of the game. Change up right on the outside corner. Another strikeout for Giolito. And now why is John Schneider out of the dugout?
Well, I'm sure there's been some chirping coming from that dugout. I wonder if Mr. Popkins has been shown the exit. He's walking down the dugout. Yeah,
I think you're right.
I think so too.
So the hitting coach getting ejected for not liking the strike zone that the Blue Jay batters are getting, and there it is as Derek Thomas throws David Popkins out of the game.
What you don't want to do is the guy go up there and swing at a pitch out of the zone. Now we got some issues. Justin Kelly not happy with the Lance Barrett strike zone here this afternoon. Looks like DK's been run.
Assuming it was on the first strike call to Lopez.
Strike call.
That's a good pitch.
And hearing it from the dugout is Adrian Johnson. Mike Schultz has been barking at him quite a bit tonight. Fernando strikes out. 2 down in the inning, and Fernando's going to say some stuff and get tossed. Adrian Johnson sends him out. Mike Schultz not far behind him as he's coming out. And now Mike Schultz going to throw his stuff, and he is really going to let him have it.
Oh, I'm not a lip reader, but classic example of Mike Schultz. We know what he's all about, sticking up for his players.
So Fernando gets ejected. Mike Schultz was ejected.
Dunn goes. Pitch called a strike, thrown out. He is out. Reds are going to challenge. But I think the question,
he just threw Colin Cowgill out of the ballgame.
Francona might get run here too. And he's going right back after Alex McKay, second base umpire. Protracted talk here between Francona and crew chief, third base umpire Alan Porter.
What Alan Porter was saying is you were thrown out of the ballgame.
And barking from the Pirate bench. So he's not going to listen to it anymore.
Go ahead, Donnie.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Here comes Donnie. Somebody just got tossed. How about Don Kelly? Well, we're going to search the record books. The last time a manager got tossed in his second big league game, and he's going to let Clint Vondrack have it. I think it's possible that somebody else got tossed initially. Maybe it might have been Rebello. We'll have to find out, but there's no way you wouldn't think that Kelly's not tossed, and the fans love it.
I love it, Greg.
3-2. Struck him out looking, and Reynolds didn't think so. Leadoff double, Canario stranded. Still 2-1 Atlanta. 2-1, and there goes Brian Reynolds. He got tossed by the home plate umpire Clint Vondrack. As he was arguing with Vondrack, but then he is barking at the crew chief, Dan Bellino, and he gives him the ejection, and Mike Rebello goes over to find out what's going on. So the crew chief had enough.
Well, a couple close calls for strike threes on Brian Reynolds today, and 2 line drive outs. He's obviously frustrated.
2-1 is there. It's a strike. Somebody downstairs just said that ball's out. And Adrian Johnson. Oh boy. Here we go. 3 straight hitters. That is now the second most famous hat toss in this city to Mary Tyler Moore.
A little more leeway.
That one
one a little lower.
Yeah, even if your pitcher's up, that one was way out of the zone. And here comes Will, and I think he was given the boot.
Or maybe it was Marcus Timms, because Marcus Timms and someone else has now been ejected.
I think both. Yeah, Will was thrown out. Now I think they've both been thrown out.
Koss down to the count 0-2 as a pinch hitter. Did he go? Yes, he did, according to DeJesus. Wow, that was close. Bob Melvin he might get tossed out here. He's running out to argue with Ramon DeJesus.
It's obviously a massive call in a tie game in the 9th inning. The leadoff batter.
Rocco Baldelli got thrown out of last night's game. Now Bob Melvin out of today's game. And you know you're having a rough series as an umpiring crew when both managers get ejected.
Gets the call. Low fastball against Dominguez. There's strike 3.
Wagner behind the plate has been really inconsistent.
And Aaron Boone's been ejected. The night's frustrations probably built up on both sides.
Well, I can understand Aaron Boone being frustrated with that call. That was down. Wagner's missed a lot of calls tonight.
Boone emptying out the bag. Dominguez called out on strikes, 2 away here in the 9th. Afternoon here. And another at-bat ends in a strikeout. And Laureano has just been ejected from the game for slamming down his helmet. James Hoyt tossed him. Brandon Hyde will come out after Ramon has said his piece, but the bat throw and then the helmet spike is going to get you run pretty much every time.
Rounded fair to third. Gino with a long throw, and Caven able to keep it in front. And Koss stumbled across the bag. He's injured and tagged out. That will end the inning, but Koss is really shaken up down there. He could not get back to the second base bag. And we have a collision around the bag. Yeah, Lawler was standing there. And Koss, I guess, didn't see him.
Fielders are prohibited from impeding or hindering a runner's path to the base while not in possession of the ball or in the act of fielding the ball. That's the definition of type 1 obstruction. Now Lawler's going over to cover the bag. He's got his back to Koss, and Koss just had nowhere to go.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but I think that's a bad on Jordan Lawler right there. You got to get out of the way. You have to realize what happens on the play. He went to the bag anticipating a force play there from Gino, but Gino instead went across the diamond, and as soon as you see that throw, you've got to get out of the way.
This is a subjective judgment call by the umpires. It is not subject to review.
Well, and the second base umpire today is Edwin Jimenez, who has done the D-backs no favors in this series.
And yeah, I think they're gonna keep this inning going here. Torey Lovullo's coming out to talk to Mark Ripperger. The crew chief is the first base umpire. And I mean, that sure looked like the very definition of obstruction. It cost them not only an out, but an out to end the inning. And the Giants trying to get the potential tying runs on base. And he's getting an explanation now from Ripperger, who will tell Torey what the 4 umpires decided. But Diamondbacks are coming back out from the dugout, back onto the field.
Boy, this is a tough one. That's going to put 2 runners on base for Wilmer Flores.
Now there are 2 types of obstruction type 1 and type 2. This looks like a case of type 2 where there's not a play being made on the obstructed runner. The obstruction can happen away from the ball, and that's type 2 obstruction, and that's a judgment call by the umpires, and they can award the bases as they see fit. You let the play progress until its natural conclusion and then impose the penalties that they see fit to nullify the act of obstruction. The ball in the meantime remains in play. Now that ended quickly when Koss was tagged out, but no play was being made on the obstructed runner. This is type 2 obstruction, and the inning is going to continue. And Torey Lovullo has been ejected. Torey Lovullo pointing at all 4 umpires. He's throwing them all out of the game. And he is hot. Mark Ripperger is pleading his case. Torrey, what do you want us to do? That's obstruction. So Torrey's making a counterpoint. Now he's been thrown out of the game. Now the umpires with obstruction can award the bases as they see fit. It looks like they put Koss at third base and Ramos at second, which puts the tying run in scoring position here. And the batter is going to be the RBI man, Wilmer Flores.
Bob Melvin, Matt Williams still pleading their case over at third base. I'm not sure exactly what more they can want here.
If the runner is called out advancing to the next base and the play is not close, they can decide that he can get the next base, which appears to what's happened here. Now Jeff Banish is going to take over. I'm not sure what Bob Melvin might be trying to score the run here.
It looks like they sent him back to first and second. I think that's what Mel's arguing.
Yep, they had him They had Koss standing at third. Now he's been moved back to second. Ramos was standing at second. He's going back to first. So that's Melvin's argument.
3-2.
They got the check swing that time. Wow.
Now the bases are loaded.
I thought he swung.
Someone just got thrown out.
Yeah.
Well, Donnie Kelly, John Lipka says you're out of this game, and that's the second time already that he's been ejected. I could read lips. He said, "You go back to the clubhouse, kind sir." And that's what he'll have to do now.
I don't like that.
Ryan Thompson yelling at both Stu Sherwater and Jordan Baker. I think they might have called a disengagement. What is going on here? Well, we've got 35,129 that would like to know what's going on as well. And he's got the hand and he's been ejected. Ryan Thompson was turning around and saying something to Dan Merzel, the second base umpire, who may have initiated all that Michigas before. And Jordan Baker screamed at the Diamondback pitcher, "Let it go." And that's when the dugout had to get involved.
Paredes, what do you know? He took a pitch. And
wow, that's a low zone.
Well, so yeah, I think at this point, now that we just got our first ejection.
Got him.
Now I've had the sense the last couple of days that Joe Espada was this close, as my mom used to say, and he's just finally blew. And Nick Marley said, "I've heard enough."
Yeah, the foundation was laid by the Texas Rangers disagreeing with similar calls, and now Joe Espada's asking him to clean it up.
Blanco goes on first movement, and Ray throws over, and Blanco is going to be out. Matt Quatrero might be arguing he just got ejected by second base umpire Jordan Baker, and he might be arguing blocking second base. This is not a reviewable play because blocking the bases cannot, because it falls under the umbrella of obstruction. So this is the best that Q can do, is go out and argue this play.
Lindor with the theft gets into scoring position. And the count 2-0 on Soto. Buehler getting after it with Estabrook, the home plate umpire. Narvaez out there to push him back, and he's thrown him out of the game. Estabrook has run the Red Sox starter. Walker Buehler has been thrown out. And Cora out now.
The problem is that pitcher, Estabrook called it a ball. It was right down the middle. I mentioned Narvaez kind of stands up, to make a better throw, but Estabrook can't see it. That ball's right down the middle. I didn't realize he called it a ball. He did. Buehler had a problem with it, but I'll say this. Walker, I know he's emotional. He's a veteran. He's been around. You can't get thrown out here in this third inning.
Cora has been run too. And he fired up Alex Cora, returning to the club after taking last night off to see his daughter graduate Boston College. He wasn't in the game very long. That means Ramon Vasquez will take over for the second night in a row. As Alex Cora has been tossed out, Estabrook gets the pitcher and the manager.
It's very combative.
Oh.
Webb just off the outside corner. 1-1.
That was close. Could have been called a strike. There we go.
Yep, there goes. Bochy's just been tossed. And he'll come out to make sure that Torres heard exactly what he was trying to communicate. Carlos Torres, our plate umpire. Here comes the future Hall of Fame manager. Yankees fans trying to get involved in the conversation themselves. But Bunch, this has been a long time coming. He was a little hot the other day in that Houston series, but unfortunately for him, he couldn't get thrown out before Joe Espada got thrown out by the Astros.
Yeah.
There have been some dubious ball strike umpires lately.
Well, and that's, I believe, the third missed ball on Aaron Judge in this game. And, you know, I believe that one, it was borderline, but I think an edge of the ball caught the zone. It's really close.
One way or the other, he executed exactly what he wanted to do.
But also very frustrating is Simeon got a call 2 inches off the plate that they called strike and caused Simeon eventually to strike out with the bases loaded.
That hit the bat? I guess it did hit the bat. Or did it hit? What did it hit? A swinging strikeout. So it hit the batter, but the batter was considered to have swung the bat.
Right. Well, and I think that Diaz is saying, look, it hit the butt end of my bat.
So they're going to explain it to Kevin before they let everybody else know, and the fact that there's likely going to be a review. He said the first base umpire ruled that he went with a swing. A lengthy argument for Kevin Cash. And Ucetta's walking back onto the field. And Kevin's thrown out for the first time this season. First ejection of the year for Rays manager Kevin Cash. And that's as hot as you'll see Kevin get.
Might as well get your money's worth.
Well, I can't think of too many times that he has been this fired up.
No.
In 11 years.
No, he's living.
And he's not done yet. He's coming back onto the field. And Jim Wolf is coming to meet him, and Rodney's trying to protect him. You know, there are managers out there that routinely do this. Kevin does not routinely do this. This is a genuine feeling from the Rays manager.
Well, he went out there on a fact-finding mission.
Right.
And he did not hear anything that he liked. That ball tracking in again, the knob of the bat.
That call on Herrera, a break for the Diamondbacks. As Herrera's out on strikes, here's Burleson. Your team offensively is really fun to watch, and it looks like someone's been thrown out.
Hey, Ollie
Hopefully
Marmol
it's
just
not
got.
Eric. I don't think Eric said anything.
Now Ollie just got tossed out. Rob Colpa, we talked about, he's from St. Louis.
Well, it's a good thing that Eric wasn't sitting next to Ollie, because we may have heard something that we probably would have regretted. And he's getting his money's worth here.
Eric, does that fire you up when you see a manager get into it like that?
Hell yeah, we love that. I mean, Ivan's one of the hottest bats in the league right now, and you know, when things don't go his way, that really hurts the club. So, you know, going out there and fighting for him, we love it.
Strike three call. Now Ronnie's single is stranded. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Just moments ago, Dan Wilson coming out, talking with Laz Diaz after the strikeout to Randy Arozarena, and something that has never happened in the baseball career of Dan Wilson as a player or in his short early career as a manager. Dan Wilson has been ejected from this game.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Andujar's just been ejected. And he is gone from this game, and the A's are gone in the 8th for the second start in a row. A's do not score. We'll go to the 8th. It's 3-3.
Strong arms with Marsh and Castellanos in center and right. Saw Marsh's arm on full display last night. And I think there might have been a little finger pointing there.
Oh yeah.
And Mark felt disrespected. And he's going to head to the clubhouse.
Follow, right? That's a strike. And it's about.
Yep. And he said, don't point your finger at me. With a bit of a standing ovation in the left field foul seats. You know, he's worked tirelessly night in and night out to try and get a win for the Athletics. He pushed all of the right buttons last night, and still the A's came up short. Tensions were boiling, emotions were high, and this was the moment where he got ejected.
And right there he does the same. That's called strike 3. It was below the zone. Here comes AJ Hinch to try and help his player, and they're gonna, you know, AJ was a step away from getting out there, and Phil Cuzzy runs Javi Baez, and AJ is trying to block Javi because he is incensed. Joey Cora's out there as well. Javi Baez is incensed. I don't know what was said, but Javi is livid. AJ Hinch was one step away from the plate when Phil Cuzzy threw out Javi Baez, and Javi's going to leave this game. That ball was low.
Now this is how that last half inning just ended, with a pitch well below the zone. Young called out on strikes. That was just so frustrating with a team that has struggled here. And then Will Little, hearing it from the Rangers bench, ejected somebody. We'll have to see who that was. That said, Will Little today, for the most part, we really haven't noticed him, right? I mean, it's not like he's had a lot of controversial calls back there. By and large, been pretty good. Just a couple of really obvious misses here late.
Man, close. Called a ball. You saw Bailey, and now the Giants are barking.
That's it. That's it. You know what? Done.
Oh, here we go. Bob Melvin just got kicked out of the game.
This is exactly what he needs to let him know. You know, you're going to call him on us. You got to call him both ways. You can't just be ringing our guys up and sticking up for the guys. It matters. And Bob is feeling it. You can tell this is real. This is no act. This is coming from the heart. Ooh, let him know.
Bottom of the zone, strike 3.
Everything up to the final pitch.
And McLean is not happy. Terry Francona trying to back up his player, now coming out of the dugout. But the low strike has been so hard all game. Hunter Green got burned on it. And it looks like he's tossed somebody. And Terry Francona has been tossed. Is that Nick Martinez? It looked like that had come off the rail.
Well, the bottom of the strike zone has been non-existent here tonight.
Is that a strike? Most days, yes. Yeah. But most of the game, it hadn't been.
It has not been.
What's a strike in the first should be a strike in the ninth, and everything in between.
And the 0-2 on the way to Crawford. It is strike 3 called on the outside corner, and JP not happy at all with home plate umpire Andy Fletcher, and Crawford has just been thrown out of the ball game. JP Crawford is red hot. He's not giving up the conversation. Here comes Dan Wilson, and JP called out on strikes by Andy Fletcher. And there's one away for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And JP not too happy about it.
There's a high probability this is going to be a fastball. You certainly don't want to sell out completely. Oh, no.
That was ball 4. That could decide the game. And Donnie Kelly is going to give it to Edwin Jimenez. And that's when Donnie Kelly got ejected for a 3rd time in his first month managing the Pirates.
Runner goes. They've got him. Tell you what, he was hustling up to the second base bag. Durbin, I think, felt like he got his hand in there on the swim move.
And I think they just called a balk.
Oh, did they really?
It was the third base umpire called a balk, I believe.
Yeah, Luzardo's not happy about it. They're saying that his foot crossed his leg, which means he has to then go to the plate instead of dropping down and going to first.
Now, the first base umpire has a much better look at that than the third base umpire. How he calls it is the reason why right now that Rob Thompson's really angry.
Oh, see, I think the third base umpire thought that he crossed his leg.
Well, that's exactly what Rob Thompson's asking. Yeah. Why in the world is this guy making the call and not the first base umpire?
And Rob's thrown out.
He has every right to be angry about this situation because that's not the third base umpire's call.
We have an argument. Carlos Correa is screaming at Austin Jones. Rocco Baldelli is fired up, and he gets ejected.
He threw out Correa?
He did. Carlos Correa was ejected from the on-deck circle. That was a borderline pitch. Austin Jones calls time on behalf of the batter, and then Correa has a word with Jones, who immediately throws him out. What are you doing, says Rocco Baldelli, with a couple words in between.
Strike 3. Soderstrom not happy. He's going to turn around and have that conversation with Tom Hanahan, and he's now tossed out of the game. Mark Kotsay out of the dugout now. Take over where Soderstrom left off.
And I think the fact that Tom Hanahan is even entertaining the conversation from Mark Kotsay kind of lets you know that, hey, he probably has a feel that it's been bouncing around, and he said that that's down. That's twice. That's twice. That's twice. The first, and then he gets ran.
Hader and come up with a hit. He is 1 for 4 against him.
Boy, he doesn't like that call right there. First pitch changeup that looked to be down below the zone. And Taylor's telling him, he said, Nick, that ball is down. That ball is down.
And now, after not liking that first call, and boy, he is hot.
Oh, yeah. Or did he get thrown out too?
I think he got thrown out.
He's out now for sure.
Yeah.
Because he said, he turned to him and said that ball was down. And did he get assessed another strike or because he had called time? He had called time. Well, they got to get Taylor into the dugout right now.
He is hot.
Well, I can't remember the last time. Well, saw somebody that mad. It's a changeup down and away. It's called a strike, and he's upset. Okay, strike. He's like, oh man, are you kidding me? And he turned around and said to him, he goes, Nick, that right there, he said, right here, that's not a strike. And then Nick must have thrown him out.
Wow. If he threw him out earlier, he was not very demonstrative about it. But then the exchange.
Well, this is where Taylor loses his mind.
And
so
of course.
Whatever happened, that was. We'll have to get to the bottom of it, but that he went from 0 to 60.
Back to the top of the order, and here's Xavier Edwards.
Let's see if Edwards can maybe drop one down that third base line.
Shows bunt, he pushes it back towards the mound. Littell is on it, and he throws it to first, and it gets down the right field line. No throw to the plate. That'll plate a run. Aranda's on his rear end at first, and Xavier Edwards walking back to the bag. And I think they may have called interference on Xavier Edwards, and the run's not going to score. What happened here, Nelly?
Well, I don't know, unless he ran in the grass to try to alter the throw. Now, we did see that one time at home when Edwards tried to score. He was about 3 feet in that grass. Now, the first base umpire is Ben May over there. This is a judgment call. This is not reviewable. So Clayton McCullough and the Marlins cannot review this play. This is a judgment call by the umpire, the first base umpire. He's calling interference. Let's see. This is a great bunt, and Littell takes his time getting off the mound, and really poor throw. And I don't know where the interference came from. I really do not see it. Yeah.
That's terrible.
I don't see it. He was right on that line. I don't see it whatsoever. It was a very poor throw.
I'll tell you what. If I was Clayton McCullough, I might be back in my office early this afternoon. That would infuriate me, what just happened.
Yeah, that was a very poor call because he was right on the line, and that throw took the first baseman Aranda into the runner, into Edwards. So there's no way that could be interference.
Now the Marlins dugout's barking, but Clayton McCullough's telling the home plate umpire and the crew chief Chad Fairchild that we're all good. Well, Fairchild continues to stare at the third base dugout, and he just needs to ignore that. Everybody's getting a little testy on a Friday afternoon. I'm just a little surprised we didn't see more from that Marlins dugout there. That's an awful call, Nelly.
It's a poor call, and they extended that line. If you remember this year, that running lane for the runner coming in. Now
somebody just got ejected. And I think Clayton McCullough's headed back to his office early for the first time this season. Get your money's worth.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we were talking about, Kyle, they extended that lane and that way to try to eliminate some of those collisions at first between the first baseman and the runner. And Xavier Edwards was hugging that line.
Oh, now Clayton just got tossed.
I think too, somebody else in that dugout got thrown out. And it's almost, you know, you look at all these plays that aren't reviewable. Everything is so reviewable nowadays, and you just wonder why an interference call, which, you know, it has a big impact in the game. Why those calls aren't reviewable? I mean, that could have easily gone back to New York, and it would have been reversed, I'm sure. And the Marlins would have tied this game up.
Can I tell you something else? Chad Fairchild was begging to throw somebody out of this game because he wouldn't stop looking over to the third base dugout.
Now watch Edwards. He didn't go on the grass. He is hugging that line the whole time. And, you know, that throw took Aranda into Edwards. I just don't. I don't agree with that call at all. You see, he's hugging that line the whole time.
Low. Oh, and they called that strike 3. It was low, and Jordan Baker missed it, and Ryan Jeffers has been thrown out. Rocco Baldelli out for a conversation, but that was low.
Brutal.
And Jeffers ejected. That's rare for the Twins catcher.
Rightfully so. That ball's never in the strike zone. And the zone has been tight, low all night. Pitches in the zone have been called low. And that ball, not a strike. It's a good at-bat by Ryan Jeffers, taken away.
The 5th inning is presented by Audi. Now, Brian Snitker came out during the inning to talk to Gabe Morales at length about the balls and strikes. And Brian Snitker was ejected. It was a quiet ejection, but he was tossed, and this is the straw that broke the camel's back.
So it's a borderline pitch, pretty close, but based on what we have seen, that needs to be called a strike this afternoon. Right? The comparison again to what we showed you with Marcel compared to this one, and Drake does a really nice job, and the conversation in between innings went lengthy. Now, I never saw the official ejection, but we just heard it over the PA announcer.
Jason Dominguez here. 1 ball, 1 strike. And home plate umpire Bruce Streckman is having a word or two with Aaron Boone.
It's James Rowson.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you see the?
Yeah, he did. He's a lefty. He threw him out lefty.
Yeah, he did.
You have to know your outfield arm.
That's a call, 3rd strike.
Well, he just ran Nico.
Nico Warner gets tossed.
This is an experienced umpire back there.
No.
Derek Thomas, and we never see Nico beef at the umpires. No, Craig is going to get his money's worth here.
I think Craig just said you're better than that. You missed the call.
First offering, tapped. Oh, that had weird spin. Kelly safe at first. Wow. It's the 6th straight inning they've gotten a leadoff man on. That's just a bad break for the Cubs.
Craig Counsell out to argue perhaps that he thought Kemp was running it in fair territory. Remember, they amended that rule. You do not have to run in the lane as long as you're on the dirt. Craig has just been ejected for the 2nd day in a row.
So Craig Counsell has been ejected.
Welcome back here, bottom of the 6th, all knotted up. I'm going to show you what happened here with J.P. Sears and Gabe Morales. J.P., who's this on? Well, looks like he feels like all of it is on Gabe Morales, and you can understand why the frustration for JP. I mean, he just watched his teammate come in and execute, get a job done with the fastball, not get the credit for it, and that snowball we talked about.
After review, the call on the field stands. Foul ball. New York will lose the challenge.
Aaron Boone not too thrilled, and he gets thrown out after throwing gum toward the field. He gets thrown out by the home plate umpire, John Tumpane.
Yeah, I think Aaron thought it hit the line from the review they saw.
This shocks you because DJ LeMahieu does not have much to say on the field. And Jeremy Rehak didn't like what he said and threw him out immediately.
Check swing, did he go? He did. Ryan Blakeney said Seager went around. And Alexander escapes danger. And we're going to the 11th. Bruce Bochy's not happy about it. But we've got more baseball here in Arlington.
Boch didn't like it, and he's not going to watch any more of the game from the dugout.
88th career ejection We'll be watching from the clubhouse.
Scenery is all that you need, and Savali needs to keep pitching. He's going to be a free agent at the end of this year, and it looks like Venable's gone.
Will Venable is hot early on. He is giving it to Marvin Hudson. Hudson has blown numerous calls already to start this game, and Will Venable is sticking up for his pitcher.
Well, happy Father's Day to you. I think that was what was said.
Rounded fair to third. Gino with a long throw, and Pavin able to keep it in front. And Koss stumbled across the bag. He's injured and tagged out. That will end the inning, but Koss is really shaken up down there. He could not get back to the second base bag. And we have a collision around the bag. Yeah, Lawler was standing there. And Koss, I guess, didn't see him.
Fielders are prohibited from impeding or hindering a runner's path to the base while not in possession of the ball or in the act of fielding the ball. That's the definition of type 1 obstruction. Now Lawler's going over to cover the bag. He's got his back to Koss, and Koss just had nowhere to go.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but I think that's a bad on Jordan Lawler right there. You got to get out of the way. You have to realize what happens on the play. He went to the bag anticipating a force play there from Gino, but Gino instead went across the diamond, and as soon as you see that throw, you've got to get out of the way.
This is a subjective judgment call by the umpires. It is not subject to review.
Well, and the second base umpire today is Edwin Jimenez, who has done the D-backs no favors in this series.
And yeah, I think they're gonna keep this inning going here. Torey Lovullo's coming out to talk to Mark Ripperger. The crew chief is the first base umpire. And I mean, that sure looked like the very definition of obstruction. It cost them not only an out, but an out to end the inning. And the Giants trying to get the potential tying runs on base. And he's getting an explanation now from Ripperger, who will tell Torey what the 4 umpires decided. But Diamondbacks are coming back out from the dugout, back onto the field. Now there are 2 types of obstruction. Obstruction type 1 and type 2. This looks like a case of type 2 where there's not a play being made on the obstructed runner. The obstruction can happen away from the ball, and that's type 2 obstruction, and that's a judgment call by the umpires, and they can award the bases as they see fit. You let the play progress until its natural conclusion and then impose the penalties that they see fit to nullify the act of obstruction. The ball in the meantime remains in play. Now that ended quickly when Koss was tagged out, but no play was being made on the obstructed runner. This is type 2 obstruction, and the inning is going to continue. And Torey Lovullo has been ejected. Torey Lovullo pointing at all 4 umpires. He's throwing them all out of the game. And he is hot. Mark Ripperger is pleading his case. Torey, what do you want us to do? That's obstruction. So Torey's making a counterpoint. Now he's been thrown out of the game.
1-2. Little flare right side. That ball is on the ground. They'll throw back to third, and Roberts is safe. They were hoping that was a double play ball, and Nick Lovullo is running out from the dugouts. Morel a dive. He thought he caught it and threw back to double up Roberts. But the call was on the ground, trapped, and the throw back to third, not in time to tag him. Lovullo is incredulous right now. And same case for Morel. He's now thrown out of this game.
Well, here's the replay. I thought he caught it.
I can't tell if there was a slight hop at the end, but Lovullo's going to make the most of it.
Yeah.
It has been a frustrating week for Nick Lovullo as well as Lucas Ray. Now, both managers have been thrown out of a game this series, and they've had a lot of words to this umpire crew.
Well, the one thing that you have to
to kind of respect is that Robert Bonet was very close to the play, because a single base umpire having to call the entire infield, he was actually behind the mound near second base. So
he's got the best angle.
Man, oh man, Key Brian Hayes, just a pond skipper through the right side.
After review, the call in the field stands. The runner is safe. Detroit will lose their challenge.
Yeah, the looks they had here, A.J. Hinch. A.J. Hinch he says, I know. You never see this off a replay from A.J. Hinch. He is not happy. I think A.J. saw what we saw on the first look.
Both managers are gone, and warnings have been handed out.
You can understand why the two managers are thrown out. They had a physical altercation.
Got to wonder about a suspension for that guy because of the contact.
They hit Ohtani. Suarez hits him.
They might eject Suarez.
Absolutely. Warnings were handed out, and Ohtani gets hit. If they're going to hit anybody, it's him. That's it. He's gone.
The bench coach will also be taking a hike.
Strike three. At the time, it caught Lawrence looking, and Lawrence is going to have a conversation with Ryan Blakeney, as he thought it was a little low. Butler didn't like the strike three call, and he let the umpire know it. Umpire said one more word, and Ryan Blakeney didn't like what Lawrence had to say back.
Well, Lawrence did not like the call at the bottom of the zone. He's saying, come on, man, that is low. Blakeney says, stop. Raw Dog gave him a little bit more, and Blakeney said, well, you can think about it in the shower, but you and I were done talking here.
Like this.
Like this. And here they are, 4.5 games out of first place.
Well, we have a fun discussion at home plate, and Reese McGuire will have to exit said game. There it is.
After review, the call stands. The runner's out.
I mean, you're looking at that with me, right? Where the glove is above his hand and his finger's on the corner. So what are we looking at? What's the point of replay?
Oh, he's been tossed out of the game. Duran has been run by Doug Eddings. And here comes Cora.
Well, I mean, they're all sitting there watching it on the big screen and seeing the finger. Even Adames laughing with him because he's saying, I barely get my finger in there.
And Cora has been thrown out as well. The Red Sox have lost Duran and Cora on that play.
And once again, that high strike is called. Strike three to Carroll.
Well, this is the exact same pitch that was called to Vargas, and Edgar better be careful because now he's tossed, so he doesn't have to be careful because he's already leaving the ball game. Again, Herrera does a nice job of bringing it back in, but well, it looks like Edgar got his money worth it anyway as he's tossed from this one.
We saw it on back-to-back pitches, that high strike. Both players, Vargas, Carroll, unhappy with the call.
So I don't know where he'd be going with this.
Yeah, he looks like he's not getting any satisfaction. He's been thrown out of the game. Second game in a row for the Red Sox manager. He has been tossed out. Alan Porter going nose to nose with him. Sox run themselves into a double play. Cora saw something else. But he has been run just as he was yesterday in San Francisco. Also on a base running play involving Jarren Duran.
Well, Josh Chisholm just got thrown out, and really he has nobody to blame but himself. I know he didn't like the call, but he has been chirping at Wegner. Aaron Judge, between innings, walked him out to the field to try to calm him down, and he would not stop screaming at Wegner about that 2-0 pitch. And you always tell me, Paul, heat of the moment, but this is far after the heat of the moment. He got himself thrown out, then Wegner gave him a lot of leash.
He did, but you know, you get so frustrated as a player, you just want to vent, and you know, you're not happy now. Obviously, you're in a tie game, and now you've put Aaron Boone in a position where, you know, you have to go to your bench.
Now, I was watching him between innings at third base, just kept repeating it wasn't even close. And he's right, it wasn't. But, you know, you did have some time to cool off, and he took it out to the field, and he got thrown out. Now the Yankees will have to bring in DJ LeMahieu to play second, and they'll have to move Peraza over to play third, and they lost Jazz's bat. And if he's going to keep going, he's going to get suspended too.
And this is what happens is as a player, you can't stand when an umpire tries to bait you and starts looking at you, saying, why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me? And it's just, all right, here you go. See you later. Been there, Michael. It's very frustrating. I mean, I agree. I thought Wegner gave him a long leash. But when you go back to your position, you don't want to be stared down by the umpire, because the umpire, in the end, has to say.
That was thrown inside, and it hits Lopez. After the game yesterday, Logan Webb came out and said, we have to do a better job at protecting our players, and that's why they're getting together right now. That was way inside.
And that's going to be warnings to both sides right now.
Clayton McCullough just got thrown out by Alfonso Marquez.
Clayton McCullough, great job there protecting your team and understanding that this is absolutely wrong.
Oh, Roberto Ortiz throwing someone out.
It's Carlos Mendoza, who was barking about the strike zone in the last half inning, and clearly did not like the way the last two pitches were called, because he felt as though there was some inconsistency, and he is getting his money's worth now.
I can tell you exactly what he's saying. He's saying, listen, I've seen the pitches, and you gave it to him, his pitcher, Pittsburgh, but you're not giving it to my pitcher. Be consistent.
The first time that Carlos has been ejected this year, and he is making sure he gets every bit of conversation in before he exits.
To me, this reeks of a manager who is angry at the strike zone and angry at his team, and isn't trying to inspire his team to wake up. Let's go.
Oh my goodness, Freeman just got run by De Jesus. You kidding me? And Warren Schaefer is going to get run. This is by far the most demonstrative we've seen Warren. I get it. Tyler Freeman is a mild-mannered guy, he's a competitive guy. To run him that quickly, that's disrespectful to the player. And quite frankly, I think it's disrespectful right now to the club.
Yeah.
Here at the stadium, Anthony Volpe was just ejected. Peraza takes over at short, and LeMahieu now in at second after Volpe gets ejected following that strikeout to end the eighth, his first career ejection.
Bottom of the fifth inning, 2-1, Nats on top, and Davey Martinez exiting because, well, we got an ejection. There is no tag on that, but it went to replay review. Oh, we don't have enough there? You can't argue. The moment you argue about anything in the replay, you get thrown out. And to me, this is not Davey Martinez mad at Mark Ripperger. He knows. You know.
All right, so this is what happened in between innings. Bob Melvin is wearing out home plate umpire Quinn Wolcott.
And yeah, he did get tossed, and I have a feeling this has something to do with Ramos taking two pitches way outside and getting called and rung up. So fighting for the guys to try to get a good strike zone.
And he got him looking at third straight changeup. Another wow that Perez and Mendoza are hot about. And here comes Mendy, and he's going to get himself run. He's going to get run. And he's been thrown out of the game already. Kicking dirt on home plate. Second ejection of the year for Mendy.
He's probably asking him, you got a flight to catch?
Not only are they outside, but they're down as well.
Oh, two bad calls. I mean, one was outside and that one was low.
3-2 on Trout. And it's a strike.
See Trout get upset all that often.
Some words with home plate umpire Brock Ballou and Ray Montgomery. Pretty visceral reaction from Trout, and that drew Ray Montgomery into the fray, and Ray has been ejected from this game.
Yeah, he said that's the third time today. He's got a borderline pitch go against the Halos, including the one with Soler was punched out with the bases loaded on a 3-2 pitch.
I got two position players that you guys didn't have on your list.
Who you got?
First, I got Khalil Green.
Nice.
Diving all over the place, acrobatic. super fun to watch. And the other one was David Eckstein. Just enough. Did anybody get more out of his body than David Eckstein? Oh, look, I think Mike Schultz a little upset about that call.
Yeah, he thought it was a strike.
Schultz not afraid to stand up for his players now.
He just got tossed.
Guy's pitching his you-know-what off, and he's got to get that pitch. That's what I read a little bit ago.
Said it wasn't a strike, and lights up, but you could see his point.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can't say that, or else you're going to get thrown out.
And he did.
Yeah.
Davis Schneider hits a ball deep to left field down the line, and it's foul. Blue Jays might take a look at that ball, and the umpires are going to conference. The call was foul.
After review, the call on the field stands. It is a foul ball.
John Schneider out of the dugout. He is upset right now.
Looks like he is going to left field. I didn't see a finger. Did you see a finger?
Might have been right away. 0-1 pitch to Davis Schneider. And he hits it high in the air. Left center field and deep. Back to the wall. This one's fair for sure.
Williams at first, not running. The 3-2 pitch is fouled back. Profar with a good rip at a slider there.
Oliver Marmol just got tossed from this game.
Ollie not happy with balls and strikes. That's what my lip reading said.
He was mad about no strike 3 to Ozuna. He was mad about no strike 3 to Profar. And Oliver Marmol ejected from the game here in the 9th inning. Ollie fighting for his team, fighting for his pitcher here. Let's see if Daniel Descalso can help the Redbirds wrap this one up.
When they've had innings of duress early in games, it has just changed the tenor completely.
Oh,
Laureano's very frustrated.
Don't get thrown out. Come on.
He spikes his helmet, ends up at home plate.
Well, it's only the second out. Well, that's just no reason to do that. You just cannot get yourself thrown out.
I also wonder with the demonstrative reaction that we had from Laureano, if he thought that was the third out.
Yeah.
And now 2 are out because of the ejection with Laureano first and then Tony Mansolino.
First time that we have seen the O skipper tossed by an umpire since taking the reins.
Well, still one more shot to get another run in.
Ray Montgomery was ejected from this game after back-to-back pitches were called strikes that were off the outside corner from Edwin Diaz to Luis Renifo. It looked like Renifo worked a walk to load the bases. Ray Montgomery extremely upset with the home plate umpire.
As well he should be. I mean, there's 2 of them there. You're bringing up the bases loaded. I mean, you got to be a little bit better than that.
Monumental point in the game. Well, somebody else just got ejected from the Angels side. And now it is Tim Laker who is barking heartily back at the umpire. And now Tim Laker comes out to the front of the top of the dugout. And he is irate with the home plate calling of Eric Backus. And again, rightfully so, Laz Diaz is the crew chief. And he cuts off Tim Laker. But these are huge games for the Angels. The reaction to the trade deadline is on the line here. The Angels are in the middle of a playoff fight. And as they try to claw back today, they have the home plate umpire working against them in the 8th inning.
And Volpe is down looking. He didn't like that call.
You can see the frustration from Aaron Boone, not only with the strike zone, but the way his club is playing defensively.
And that's it. He's heard enough. Gonzalez let him talk a lot, and finally he had enough, so Aaron Boone gets thrown out. And now he's going to get his money's worth.
I think Matt Blake was a part of this too, pitching coach.
You think it was Blake thrown out?
I think it was Matt Blake.
And now Boone is thrown out. Now Gonzalez is going to hear it. Well, Gonzalez is giving as good as he's getting, but I think this is frustration pouring out of Boone because of the strike zone #1. But you mentioned it, John. He can't be happy with the way his team is playing.
And it looked like Aaron Boone was walking away from Manny Gonzalez, and then he threw him out. So obviously going back to give him a piece of his mind. And Matt Blake having a few words now for Gonzalez behind the plate.
Blake's getting his money's worth.
Derek Johnson's on the mound for a visit, but the Red skipper's going right to home plate. This is a rookie umpire, made his major league debut in early June. His 7th game calling balls and strikes in the bigs. And Francona is fired up as we've seen him arguing with an umpire on the season. So the skipper gets the heave-ho and gets his money's worth. Grabs his card. That means that Freddie Benavides will make the calls the rest of the way.
And the breaking ball is in there for a call, strike 3, and Soto has more to complain about with Emil Jimenez, and he better watch it. Carlos Mendoza comes out to save his player. Don't need Soto getting ejected. And now Carlos Mendoza's been ejected. So Mendoza came out to save Soto, who was the victim of a couple of very questionable calls on breaking balls that appeared to be out of the strike zone. And instead of Soto getting run, Mendoza got himself run.
At the knees, 2-1. Did somebody get tossed out of this game? I mean, the home plate umpire, Nick Marley, we were looking out to the bullpen in Dominguez. The umpire took his card out, right? It was writing something down, and that usually means
absolutely
that somebody got tossed. Heineman didn't like it, but it wasn't Heineman who got tossed. Definitely somebody in the dugout. Yeah, somebody got tossed.
Check swing, ball four. Oh, man, no. He just said he went. And Bryce is not happy about that. Dusty's going. Oh, he just threw Bryce out of the game. Dusty now goes to try to cut it off. He wanted to try to cut it off before Bryce got thrown out. Here comes Rob Thompson.
You know what you hate is he had to peek around.
He had to peek around.
Rob might be gone too. That was absolutely.
And he went too far. Chris Guccione going to call him out himself.
That is awful. Just ask for help.
Well, Miguel Cairo has been thrown out of this ball game, arguing with Chris Guccione in that last half-inning break after the Gooch said that James Wood went too far on this check swing instead of appealing to third base and asking for help. James frustrated, talking with the home plate umpire, and then Miggy came out.
And Mark Kotsay just got ejected.
Well, that pitch right there on your screen will show you why. Shea Langoliers, I think, just trying to smooth it over with John Bacon because he knows what's coming his way right now.
He's stating his case and a very quick conversation, and he will head back to the clubhouse.
And there was not much that John Bacon was going to offer there that Mark Kotsay was interested in hearing.
And that is strike 3. Jordan incredulous that that pitch was called a strike, and he
just got tossed out.
That was low. Did Alfonso? He did.
He threw him out.
He just threw him out. That was quick. Come on.
Javier ended up throwing 77 pitches last night, but only 43 for strikes in that start against the Sacramento River Cats. 3 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. He walked 4 and he struck out 6. Astros don't like that check swing, and they're giving it to Carlos Torres. Somebody just got tossed.
Seriously?
Somebody got tossed in the Astros dugout.
Nobody knows who it is. Blindly waving over at the Astros dugout because they were upset with the call.
Astros felt like that 1-0 pitch was definitely a swing from Lopez, called a check swing. They were barking from the dugout. Carlos Torres took a exception to that and ended up tossing somebody. So we'll see who has to leave the dugout for the Astros. Josh Miller's not down there right now. He would be the one fighting for Sousa as hard as anybody, you would think. Might have been the pitching coach.
Another strike. 1 and 2. He's hearing it from the Yankee dugout. And here comes Boone. Well, Boone doesn't like the low strike calls that they've been getting, so you heard him say, you've got to fix that. Now, he did not like that low strike call on that pitch to McMahon, but I think it's been a combination of things, Paul. That low strike's been called a lot. You mentioned it earlier. I would think he has to be thrown out because you're not allowed to argue.
I was going to say, this is
an
early hook, wasn't it? I mean, there went a couple words and you were gone.
Joe Adell will lead off here. There was a pitch timer violation called against Adell. He wasn't in there quite at that 8-second mark.
Make eye contact. You know, baseball games in a weekend since 15.
Couple of strikeouts on Adell tonight, and that's, well, Adell's been thrown out of the game here. You see Adell kind of barking back at Iasonia on his way to the dugout. He got run.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about that. You don't want to be falling behind against Yamamoto no matter what.
You wouldn't think. Strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Freddie Peralta. Don Kelly's close to he just got tossed. And he'll get his money's worth now. Roberto Ortiz, he's been chirping at him much of the night. Don Kelly, who got ejected, 3 times in the matter of a week when he first got the job.
And this is what ejection. Yep.
This is what he's upset about right there. That's well off the plate away. I love this angle right here. You can see it's a good baseball off the outside corner. Well, I love this about Donnie Kelly. He stands up for his guys, and he knows right there. Jackson Winston just got burned on a 2-strike pitch well off the plate away.
Wow. Oh, boy. Nate Tomlinson's really had a rough night. And here comes Torey Lovullo. This has been going on with Nate Tomlinson since the first inning. And Torey's been ejected.
Yeah, well.
And there's no way that that's a strike. Mark Wagner, the crew chief, going to come in here from second. Torey's counting off all the pitches that Tomlinson has missed. Of course, it's an automatic ejection to argue balls and strikes. We know that, and he knew that when he went out there, but enough is enough already.
Red Sox are hollering for another balk, but they're not going to get it. And now the home plate umpire is coming on out.
Would he declare from the windup or stretch, or?
Crowd's going to boo them as the umpires get together here, but the Red Sox were livid about this in their dugout.
Right there, a little twitch. Just a little one.
Not going to get any satisfaction from these guys right now, that's for sure.
He did move his upper body a little bit and then kind of went back, his front shoulder, and then went back.
Alex Cora got to work, and he has been ejected. That was during the commercial break. He has been tossed out just as Souza got out there to the mound. Bennett Souza, the lefty, to begin the warm-ups. He was tossed by the home plate umpire, Blakeney.
0-2 to Jeffers. 1 out. Foul. Oh, Jeffers saying that hit the ground.
It certainly looked like it did.
Jeffers saying that hit the ground, and for now, John Bacon is saying that was a clean catch, and this is not reviewable. And Rocco's been thrown out, and the hat comes off. He wasn't happy with the strike zone early. If this ball hits the ground, it's a foul ball.
This has as much to do with the strike zone throughout the game when Skubal was on the mound as it does with this play right here. They've been frustrated all night with the inconsistencies in the strike zone.
Yeah, Rocco saying it comes down to this moment. That's Rocco's 4th ejection this season, 18th of his career, and leaves his hat in the field.
His bell is running. Caro's throw is on the mark. And Q might be coming out and arguing a blocking violation. And now he's been ejected from the game. This has frustrated him most of the year.
Blocked the bag with
it's dropped the gate. Yep. He dropped it. This is the second time that he's been ejected this year for this type of play.
Christian Walker takes a strike. 4 balls and 2 strikes. Wow, and there we go. And now they threw somebody out. It may have been Joe. Well, that was a pretty quick decision made by Chad Fairchild. And Joe Espada has been ejected from this ball game.
Take a peek in that Astros dugout straight ahead after that call. Third, Joe in the tunnel, the stairway coming up. There's some hand signals. And that kind of looked like Chad Fairchild might have been looking for somebody over there, and he got Joe.
Strike 2 is called. That was a gift. That looked to be ball 4. Well, we said it's been a pretty big zone tonight. That was down. You know it's down. And Iasonia saying stop it. And Kevin's fired up. And he might not be long for it.
That ball, again, it's below the zone. You said it's been a big zone all night. That ball's.
1 out, 2-2. That is, wow. Called strike 3. That was more than a hair inside. And Aaron Boone and Trent Grisham are both perplexed at that. Somebody from the dugout just got tossed. I'm not sure if it was Aaron Boone, because it looked like Vic Carapazza pointed to someone down on the other end of the dugout. Looks like it was Tanner Swanson who got tossed.
Good ball game. Cardinals trying to salvage 1 of 3 against New York. That's up and away. Or thereabouts. 3 balls and a strike. Ollie, I think, just got tossed from the game. Nick Lentz said, come on out. And Oliver Marmol's going to go at it. So Oliver Marmol has been ejected. We told you Aaron Boone has 6. Ollie's 1 behind him. That's his 5th of the season.
And the first pitch from Estes. Swung on and fouled off on a pitch that hit him. He picks up the bat and throws it at Estes. He's been tossed. He is yelling at Joey Estes, and now he runs towards the mound. Both dugouts empty, and they're trying to keep cooler heads prevailing. Here come the bullpens, and we've got a little fracas in between the mound and the plate. And the Rainiers coaching staff escorting Robles to the third base visiting side dugout. I don't know the last time, or if ever, that I've seen a batter throw the bat at the pitcher.
And something just got tossed onto the field from the Tacoma dugout.
That's Robles throwing stuff. He threw an entire bucket of sunflower seeds down the third base line. My goodness.
Now things begin to get a bit seedy here. I've not seen anything like this in a very long time in this league.
And it's strike 3 called, says Mark Ripperger. Schneider questioning if that was a swing or a called strike. John Schneider will clean it up a little bit, but says that's a terrible call, and Schneider just got tossed.
Well, it's a breaking ball down at the bottom of the zone. It may not have looked great, whether it caught the bottom of the zone or not. Davis didn't like the call, but his manager definitely didn't like the call.
Davis Schneider is in the game. John Schneider is out of the game.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. It was spectator interference. The runner's out.
Wow. Cannot argue a review, so Schultz is automatically ejected. You can't come out. How do you score that?
F8.
Okay.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's enough.
That's enough, says Todd Titcher to the first base dugout. And somebody's been tossed. That'll be Miguel Cairo's 3rd if it was him already. Somebody's gone.
And I think that wasn't from that pitch. I think that's been from 5 or 6 pitches that I think Brad lured through, not Cole Henry, that he's probably frustrated about and just decided that was enough.
Michael, I have never seen 3 throws, disengagements from a pitcher.
And now they try again, and there's a balk. Or was there?
Now the umpires are going to talk things over.
What are they talking about?
And they're going to send him back to first.
He never reestablished restarted the game by putting his foot in the rubber when he threw over.
There he goes. And he gets the second anyway. But he overslides, and Lau keeps the tag on him, and he's out.
2 out, bases empty. And now Jose Caballero, I think, just got tossed by Roberto Ortiz. Oh. And he's getting held back. He was going at Roberto Ortiz. And Luis Rojas has to hold him back.
Well, this you can't do. You don't get near an umpire.
I've never seen him that upset.
That's center cut. Contreras looking for something else, and he's retired for out number 2. And Oliver Marmol just got tossed from this game. Or was it Wilson Contreras?
Yeah, I think it was Contreras walking away. He certainly continued to look back. He's saying he didn't say anything. Now he's saying all those things he said he didn't say.
Wow, Ollie's got to hold him back. Now Ollie's been tossed. Now somebody fires a whole box of bubble gum out onto the field between the plate and first.
Well, certainly the frustration taken over for Contreras in this one. Derek Thomas behind the plate. I mean, as soon as he rang him up, he was walking the whole way, looking, obviously saying something behind, as Cardinals bat boys have to pick up the mess that, assuming Contreras threw out there.
Wilson was hot, and then my guess is that he heard something, and then Mount Vesuvius happened.
Phillies have got to the bullpen with nobody out here in the 5th inning. The bases are loaded. Orion Kirkring's coming up. Jesus Luzardo, as he was lifted from the ball game, as he went off, he was demonstrative in his disgust to the home plate umpire, telling him to wake up, screaming at him. Now, it went dark, and we don't know if the umpire threw him out.
He did.
So he did.
I saw him throw him out, yeah.
Right off the ribbon board, he had just about a foot from going in the upper deck, and then 93 coming inside and hitting Acuna. He is not happy with Ryan Gusto, and they're coming out of both dugouts.
Well, it never looks good right after a big home run when something like this happens, and Ronald clearly taking exception to it.
I think Brian Snitker just got ejected.
He did, because he's probably upset that there was a warning issue. It's always frustrating for the team that is on the receiving end of the first hit by pitch.
And Hunter upset. He goes down. So a promising inning turns south quickly. Middle of 6. It's still 1-0
Hunter
Houston.
just got tossed out.
But he was upset with that call on 0-1, and he had words with home plate umpire James Hoy, who's the crew chief. And the reason he got pointed at is it's a equipment violation. And then Hunter said something to Hoy, and Hoy tossed him out.
Tucker at first. There he goes. And that one is in there, and they got him.
Craig Counsell out of the dugout. And he just ran Craig. Wow, that was a quick hook.
Yeah, that's a strike.
It's actually pretty impressive that they got the call, though, with Bailey
Agreed.
coming out of his crouch to go get that baseball. A lot of times you cost the pitcher the strike.
They are all looking in Mike Schultz's direction.
Well, pretty even splits for Lewis. 221 against lefties, 225 against righties, although
Manny Gonzalez making them go back to where they came from, and now Mike will slowly kind of start to creep his way out onto the field. And an ejection has just been issued, I assume, to Nestor Cortez, who's obviously coming out of this game. And perhaps he had said something there to Manny Gonzalez, but this will also give Wandy a couple of extra throws in the bullpen if he needs it. Apparently magic words were said.
It's called strike 2. Slider. Well, what happened here? Like, Clayton McCullough's not happy. Did he just get thrown out of the game? I have no idea what happened here, Gabby.
Neither do I.
Clayton McCullough is incensed.
Somebody got tossed very quickly.
And it wasn't Clayton McCullough, who's still at the top step of the dugout. So who got ejected from the game?
Was it Xavier Edwards? Was he not happy about the first pitch? Well, I don't understand what happened in that situation. Now, Clayton McCullough was definitely not happy.
And we believe we may have found what may have transpired during the break. There's Weimer in right field. Here's the pitch that Edwards didn't like. Let's take a look. Here's the pitch he didn't like. And here comes Edwards off the field. Listen. And you could hear Brennan Miller say, he started it, not me.
And he said, I told you to stop.
So to recap, Edwards obviously was not happy about one of the called strikes.
Right.
He grounds out. He had something to say for Brendan Miller, who told him to stop. Marlins dugout got on Brendan Miller, who said he started it, not me. And then obviously you could hear X in the background of one of the following pitches. He hollered something, a pitch was delivered, and then Brendan Miller said, you got to go. So Xavier Edwards has been ejected. Javier Sanoja's at second. Joey Weimer's in right. Jacob Marcy's in left. And we are back underway at Nationals Park.
Check swing. Did he go? No. 2-2 Brewers dugout. Can't believe it. Murph not happy. Let's see. Ugh. Check swing. Appeal. No, he didn't go, says Jim Wolf.
Man, they're not calling any of them.
Man, Pat Murphy is fit to be tied.
Yeah.
And Pat Murphy just got tossed by Jim Wolf. Chris Hook is coming out to chat with Uribe. Jim Wolf said get back in the dugout.
Murphy was mad about the non-call on Bryce Harper. And in a situation like this, close game in the ninth.
Just his second ejection of the year for Pat Murphy.
And Murph's had enough. Now he's yelling at the third base umpire. I don't blame him.
Here's the look. Oh, man.
Yeah, he went.
His first in 2016, his second the following year. Yeah, they're starting to hear it now from inside the dugout. Well, somebody just got tossed. Here comes Dan. Somebody got thrown out of this game. And I don't think it was Dan.
Oh, it was well down the dugout. I don't know his name, but that guy.
And now Dan just got tossed. With Lou watching, no less.
I mean, for old time's sake, you ought to pick up a base or throw something out onto the field, kick a hat.
#1 in the sport. This ball is in the air to deep right field, and he's done it again. First inning home run last night for Devers. Freeland took exception to Devers, and we're going to have both benches empty.
Oh, the Matt Chapman push Kyle.
Now it's escalating again because Kyle said something to Adonis.
Due to their actions during the on-field incident, the starting pitcher is removed from the game, as well as Willie Adames and Chapman for San Francisco.
And that one hits Caballero. Are they saying that Caballero swung? I believe they are. So it wouldn't matter if he got hit by a pitch if he went around. He did go around. And now he gets thrown out of the game. And here comes Aaron Boone. That was a really quick toss. I don't know what Caballero said, but De Jesus threw him out. Caballero got thrown out of a game earlier in his stint with the Yankees, and it was a bad situation because the Yankees were short on the bench. Now here in the fourth inning, he gets thrown out.
Yeah, Bob Melvin lost his mind, and I don't blame him. The non-call of the strike three, 4 runs scored after that non-call, 15 extra pitches, and Bob was pretty demonstrative. There was no secret what he was unhappy about. Long way to go, and look, if you even put that aside, it just happens in course. You get a long inning, and sometimes it gets you.
And that's going to do it.
What Boone's upset about is that pitch has been called a strike.
And now he gets thrown out. Somebody just got thrown out, either Williams or Boone. I think Williams had something to say to Walsh on the way by. All right, so Boone's walking off, giving him a look. Finally says something. Walsh is waiting, and then he throws him out. So Devin Williams thrown out, Boone thrown out. Now Boone's going to get his money's worth. So Adrian Johnson, the crew chief, is trying to cool things off just a bit. Boone is red hot. I don't know who he's pointing to in left field.
De Jesus, or rather, no, yeah, De Jesus, Ramon. Ramon had the quick hook. He's talking about the quick hooks. Walsh doesn't need to be staring down Boone walking off the field like that.
There's some yelling from the Angels dugout. And somebody's been ejected here. Now Ryan Goins is the one coming out of the dugout, the bench coach. It appears he's been the one knocked out of here. A lot of questionable calls today from the home plate umpire, Junior Valentine. And the Angels apparently had enough. So Ryan Goins has apparently been ejected.
Slow grounder. There's a tag. Throw late. Ball gets away, but it stays in play. And that run from third was going to score anyway. Now, what's the deal with the play at second? Did he get him?
I thought Luis Garcia a little bit too far away to go and tag the runner and turn the double play.
So for now, it's 4 unassisted. And this is getting more animated, and this does not look good for the Nats.
Yeah.
He's calling the runner at second safe.
Washington is challenging the safe call at second base of no tag.
Only time you ever see that is when the umpire, another umpire, has a better bird's eye view of the play.
The call's been confirmed. There was no tag. The runner is safe. Washington loses the tag.
And now Miguel Cairo wants to know, why did your guy call him out? Miguel is really upset because Eric Backus called the runner out at second, and he was the umpire right there. Now, had the Marlins challenged and then gotten the call, that's one thing, Denard. But they changed the call, forcing the Nats to challenge.
Yeah,
that's what makes no sense.
Backwards. And I feel like I've seen Laz throw guys out for a lot less energy and emotion than that.
Yeah, he might have gotten the heave-ho already.
Oh, did he get? Oh, okay, I might have missed.
And if he does, this will be Cairo's 4th ejection.
Then tag. Then.
And it looks like Laz Diaz has just thrown somebody else out. Jake Irvin, evidently. We heard, get out of here.
Here's the payoff. Got him looking at 99.
So
there you go. And Jeff, did he just get tossed?
Yes, he did.
He ripped his helmet off and screamed to the umpire that borderline call at the knees. Scott Barry rang him up, and Jeff is now, well, he was smiling a moment ago. He's as livid as possible and now out of the game. And he can't believe it.
He goes slider and a called strike 3. Farmer's going to get run if he's not careful. I thought when he dropped the hat right away in front of James Jean, and Jean just threw out Warren Schaefer, who's coming out and spiking equipment. Farmer did not get tossed. This is the second time Warren's been tossed.
I knew Paul Walker was going to get tossed out. He was going to fight for Mad Max.
Pretty quick ejection.
Well, Max is the one that wanted to argue balls and strikes, and Paul Walker ends up being his proxy. He was warning him. He was like, we're not arguing balls and strikes out here.
John Schneider is out of the dugout. He's having an argument with third base umpire Nestor Ceja. He's going to walk right up to him.
I don't know if he got tossed out or not. I think he wanted the check swing to be called.
Well, by comparison to some of the barking from the Blue Jays dugout tonight, this looks fairly composed. I remember seeing that with the Yankees. Aaron Boone didn't know if he was tossed or not from a game.
Well, and John did get tossed out.
Yainer Diaz, the only leadoff hit in the first 2 games of this series, and another strikeout on an elevated fastball. This one a called third strike, and the dugout not happy with that call.
Joe's had enough. I think Snicker just got thrown.
Like 2 ejections there, 2 different motions by Shane Livensparger. One of them got the manager, I believe, and I agree with you.
He doesn't like it when the manager comes out arguing balls and strikes, so he got him early, and then he got Snicker behind him.
Oh, Joe didn't get tossed. I thought there were 2 tossed. One of them's definitely Snicker. They're talking to Joe Espada right now, who's still in the dugout. Joe did not think he was ejected.
Oh, you were right.
The crew chief came down from third base, Mike Malinsky, and said to the home plate umpire, Shane Livensparger, I still see the manager in the dugout. Didn't you toss him? And he's like, yeah. So now Joe's going at it with the crew chief.
Yeah, let it eat. Go get him.
Mike Malinsky was home plate umpire last night. All right, this is about as fired up as we've seen Joe all year.
There's one. That might be Joe coming out of the dugout. And then as Joe was coming towards him, he pointed to the dugout, and Troy Snicker was on that top step, and he got him too.
Well, here comes Bruce Bochy, right according to script. Let's see how long this conversation lasts. Sherwater. He's kind of doing a lot of the advance work here in this one. And it's been a slow burn for Boch for a couple of days. And I'm with you, Mike. I think this will be his final act in tonight's game. He didn't get tossed, right?
I don't, unless it was quick, unless it was early and then he came out of the dugout. This last inning, Peterson calling time, didn't get it. That ticked off the bench. You can see the yelling. Yeah, so Boch did get tossed, and then I think he got tossed and then he came out.
Okay.
10 games. Did he swing? Didn't swing, or was it in the zone? And the bases are loaded. Miguel Cairo really upset, and he's been tossed.
Yeah, he's talking about the one from Brady House earlier too, right? Like he's going to add that. Love it.
It's pretty close. Miguel Cairo, 5th ejection already as the Nats manager.
Strike 3, and for the 3rd time today, Fermin down on strikes. And Mike Schilt is coming out as Fermin has some things to say, not happy, and Schilt coming out to get him, and now one of them has been tossed. He said, I didn't say anything to you, so I guess Schilt got tossed. He was coming out there to protect Fermin, is what he's saying.
And Freddie is like, okay, I disagree. He's saying some stuff, and you're right. Mike Schilt coming out to try to maybe, get him away from the situation. Doesn't want to have him get tossed. And that's when Chad Fairchild tossed him.
1-2 again. And on the inside corner again at 99 for strike 3 call. And Guerrero just got tossed out of the game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been kicked out of the ballgame. Gabe Morales, the home plate umpire, tossing Guerrero out.
That's what got him run when he pointed to the ground saying that ball was this far inside, and that's why he got thrown out.
David Popkins might not see the end of the ball game tonight, and he won't. So Popkins is gone.
Way into the night sky. Out of there. Oh, it's dropped. Davis had it pop out of his catcher's mitt.
Well, Bubba Chandler was way too close to this. He eventually, were they calling interference on Matt Olson?
He's arguing with Brock Ballou, the home plate umpire here. Brian Snitker joins the discussion.
I mean, that ball was up in the air forever. Now, if there was some contact there for Matt Olson, it is your obligation to get out of the way, but still, he's not happy about it, clearly. He's been called out.
We'll get another look at this. You can see the frustration for both of those guys. Brian Snitker and Matt Olson. Ron's going to come get him. And Brian Snitker just got ejected by Brock Ballou. Oh. He is going after Mark Wegner. He got his money's worth.
He certainly did. And I'll be very curious to see how this looks here for Matt Olson. What we got here? Ball's hit in the air. Is there contact between him and Davis? I mean, that's Matt Olson. There's obviously zero intent there. He doesn't know where the ball is. I don't like that call at all. I mean, these guys will tell you that it's by the book and it's your job to get out of the way. But Matt Olson, if you intentionally, of course, calls interference, it's an automatic. But
well, as we went away, Matt Olson was ejected by home plate umpire Brock Ballou. So now Brian Snitker is gone and Matt Olson is gone as well.
And it's been pretty steady for Matt Olson. He kind of wants an answer to his question, which is, what am I supposed to do? I finish my swing, I look where the ball is, I get bumped into by the catcher, and then I get called out. Like, that's the answer he wants. I'm supposed to find that baseball. I mean, I'm barely just finished my swing, and now it's my job to make sure that I don't make any contact with the catcher. It's a reasonable question. The rule is written the way that it is, but it's probably fair to at least ask, like, what is my move supposed to be there?
And that gives Bobby Witt Jr. Oh, Mark Kotsay just tossed John Bacon. John Bacon told Mark Kotsay to hit the showers, and Mark Kotsay said, you beat it. Said, you cost us a run. We missed the play. You could just get the sense Mark Kotsay was frustrating and at the point of boiling over, and he said, you missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Yeah. Yeah, you? Yeah.